My name is Dr. Joseph S. Fulmore Sr., and we are here at Eastside Park to move forward with the thrust of what Souls to the Poles actually means. Now, Souls to the Poles goes back 60 plus years ago, and especially when the 15th Amendment to the Constitution was put into operation, and which simply means that every human being has a right to vote, and which means that there should be equal accessibility, there should be equal opportunities for everyone. And of course, the 15th Amendment needed some attention given to it because it was very difficult for people to accept the true meaning of it. And as we move through that process, even up until 1964, and I'm talking about from the 1600, moving all the way back when the Constitution was written, that we were not able to vote. And then if you take a look at it, 1964, a Voting Act, just count the number of years that we were not able to exercise our rights. So, if you are not exercising the definition and the meaning of the 15th Amendment, well, we are not staying true to our purpose for being on this earth, where all men and all men are equal. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Joseph S. Fulmore Sr., and let me say this. I am so glad to be who I am and to be where I am today. Point, place, and time. As history has been recorded, and I can take you back to 1952 in Lake City, South Carolina, as today is an extension of that particular period in time, which is Souls to the Poles. And the Souls to the Poles really was started 60 years ago, basically by the black African American churches. But back to 1952, at the age of 7 and 6, between and 8, I was a little boy. And now to sit here in Paterson, New Jersey to reflect in 2021, it was at that time that I had my first exposure to Souls to the Poles. And really what Souls to the Pole means to me is just voting and getting everybody out to vote, and so that you can chart your own destiny. Now, back in 1956, we were unable to, especially me and some other people in that given community, were unable to ride a school bus to school. We had to walk 10 miles one way to a 2-room classroom. There was an advantage too. The advantage to me at that particular time was that I was exposed to not only the first, second, and third grade, but I was exposed to what was being taught to grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But the history behind this goes a little deeper. It was so sad that it was at that time that I realized what segregation meant. I thought everybody was equal and everybody needed to have been done to do the same thing and treated the same. But as a result of of course, and my brothers and sisters were not able to ride the school bus, nor we were able to go to school with any other persons, shall I say. We were, in my opinion, were treated as one would say second-class citizen. It was in 1952 when the Brown Board of Education Act came into being. And let me remind you that the first case amongst the 5 cases in the Brown versus Board of Education is Elliott versus Briggs. Elliott versus Briggs came about in Lake City, South Carolina, as a result of my parents and other people coming and meeting in a church in order to advocate for us to be able to not have secondhand books, for us not to be able to go to the public library, and most of all for us to have been able to ride a school bus. Thurgood Marshall took the case, and as you can recall, in 1954, the Brown versus Board of Education, shall I say, cases were brought to the surface. And not only brought to the surface, Thurgood Marshall won the case, and therefore we were now able to ride a school bus to school. But to take this to another level, that didn't stop there, because voting today is power. Voting today is survival. Voting today will determine how our future goes. So therefore, today's Souls to the Polls is initiating something that started 60-something years ago, and of course ended in 2014 as a result of people recognizing the fact that by Black, African Americans, and Latinos were now able to, shall I say, speak to and function as a part of the 15th Amendment to the Constitution. And as we move here today, I'm telling every single person, please take advantage of your opportunity, because it is our civic responsibility to represent not only ourselves, but to represent the entire world as a democracy. But let's be real about that. Is equity there? You can answer that question. Look around you. What do you see? And if you don't see what you think that you should feel as it stipulates in the 15th Amendment, let's do something about it. And we need to especially take charge of our destiny. We need to take charge of our family. We need to take charge of our community. And as a whole, all ethnicities coming together and working as one. With that being said, thank you, and may God bless you, and let's have a great day.